name on it and legible with a dash 4 after it. Let's have you hand those up and over now. And please have out the note packet that you had before. So please. Let's have us hand those up and over. And have out the note packet that you all had the other day. We're going to look to finish that up. I think we left off on here. I think we got one page to go through and finish, and then we've done every type of factoring. Now, one of the things that's a disservice, I guess, for you all are days that end on weeks that end on a D-Day. Because when was the last time we had class? Thursday. Was it Thursday?
No,
Friday, because we didn't have class for the last 3 days, and you got it at the end of this. So it's been a while, almost 4 days, since we've gone through and had class. That means, again, and this is not, you're always going to have an assessment waiting for you when you come in. The days that it's a D-Day are extra awkward because it's been 4 days since we've had each other, and you need to make sure that you know what we're going through and doing. Here is, and again, these are answers from, I did it from the first class, but there's 3, 4, it all depends on how you want to go through and get there. Let's say this one. Looking at this first question, how do I get it to say x squared in the front? Well, I've got to have x times x. How do I get it to have negative 8y squared at the end? We just added one little bit of nuance to it. And the only one I think that was difficult was the first one. How do I get to have an 8y squared at the end? Instead of having an 8, you need to have a 2y and a 4y. And the signs cause you to get that middle value. You would test your answer to see if it in fact works. So that answer would be x plus 4y and x minus 2y. Now this next one I found a little disheartening at the number of kids that missed this second question. What's the first type of factorization we always look for?
GCF.
GCF. Does number 2 have a GCF? Yeah. So we get to here. Now some people for some reason stopped here. I don't know why. What's the type of factorization that's now left? Square root of the left plus and minus the square root of the right. GCF off. GCF only gets you half of the 1 point. That's fine. That's fine. Do this. Make sure you grab your assessment over on the side, please, and get it done. We'll finish this then at the end of the period. Let's take a look, please. We left off on example 7. So let me do this first. Get rid of this and this. Okay. Now, you have to view these operations of foiling and factoring as ones that are interchangeable. Looking at what's there, I need to build up what this, and by the way, this does example 7. Is there a GCF in example 7? Is there a GCF in 18m squared minus 19mx plus 12x squared? Is there a GCF? There you go. Looking at what's there, I go through and say, I've got 2 sets of factors that I'm going to look to construct. And in the lead position here, I need numbers that are going to multiply to give me, and in this, here's my lead position. And then I have my secondary positions here and here. And in the secondary positions, I need to multiply to get 12x squared. And in the lead positions, I need to multiply to get 18m squared. So let's start off with this. Hands up, please, if you can tell me one candidate to go into those yellow positions. Yep. Yeah, 9m and 2m. Hands up, please, if you can tell me another one. We've got 9m and 2m so far. What's another one? Go ahead.
18m and 1m.
What's another one? Now, we're going to have a plus and a minus in there as well. How about candidates to get 12x squared at the end?
6m and 2m.
Careful. 6.
Negative 6m.
Nope. You're standing on this. There you go. 6x and 2x. Who's got another factor pair? And hands up, please, and you tell me the last one. Now, you've got a ton of candidates for this. There's one thing you have to remember, though. What can't our factors have? Hands up, please, if you remember. If the original does not have this, the factorization can't have it as well. What do I need to stay away from? All right, then we'll say this. You're going to start making guesses. Check to see if it works. We'll wait for 4 of you that can tell me what this factors down to. You have, as of now, if you don't remember the shortcut from the other day, you have 18 candidates. And there's no shortcut. You have to, and I love it, don't stare at it. It's pencil the paper, foil it out, see if it works. You take a guess, see if it works. If it does, terrific. If not, we move on. Again, there's 18 of them there. You're going to see some are better candidates for others. Page 4. Play around with the numbers. There's a lot of guesses to take. If it were me, I'm looking to get a 19, so I'd probably start with a 6 and a 3, as opposed to 18 and 1. 18 and 1 would be what I would start off with if there's a huge gap. But again, the pencil should be on the paper. You need to know which guesses work, which ones don't. There's a lot going on there. Way too much to be done in your head. No one's got it so far? One person? 2? Thank you. You don't? There should be smoke coming off your paper. Maybe you try 9 and 2 instead. 3 now. We're getting there. We're up to 3. What'd you get? So you use a 9m and a 2m, okay? So the quantity 9m what? No? What goes here? What were your 2 factors? No. 9m plus or minus something else in the green. What did you have? Plus what? And a 2x? And then over here then, what did you have? You have to have 2m minus 6x? Is that what you have? Now, I know that, and I'm not going to go forward with it. I can stop now. I would not guess this one. Does anybody know why this would be a candidate for us? No. But why would this answer? I know if you're giving me a different one. Can everybody tell me why this one? And there's 1,000 other, well, not 1,000, about 12 more. We wouldn't attempt either. Does everybody know why I eliminate this candidate immediately? And it's got to, and again, this is the part of doing this that it takes a while to get used to. What do you want to say?
Because when you multiply 9m times negative 6x, you get negative.
Nope. That's doing too much. Look at that. What do we have here? A GCF. Does the original have a GCF? Mm-mm. So we know that our answer can't. Who got what this would be if we get rid of? Who can tell me what they want to try for this one? We got 3 people. What do you want to say? So you want to, which one goes here? And how did I know? I wasn't even going to write down. If you said 3x, how do I know that 3x couldn't go there? GCF. So this would be a 3x, or sorry, 4x here and a 3x here. What goes here? Minus, and then this would have to be a plus. Now let's check and see if it works. Over here, you've got 18m squared. On the outside, you've got positive 27 minus 8. 27 minus 8 gives you negative 19, and that's going to work. There is nothing special or extraordinary about doing this process out. Nothing. You have to take your attempts and see if they work out. Why? What did I do? Hang on. Let's see. Oh, you're right. Because what did I said it right and then got it wrong. What should I get as a middle value?
Negative 19.
So what do I need to do though? This is an easy fix. There you go. This and this. I'm going to go for a walk. Sorry. So make sure there's nothing special about doing it. The reason that the way that you get them quicker or get to them quicker is you've got to go through and do them. All right. And again, it's the cruel irony of it is the only way to get really good at it is to constantly miss in the beginning, because you're going to see the pattern and how to undo the pattern. Now, take a look at example 8. Hands up, please, and tell me what you want to do to start off example 8. I see something, I see it immediately. What's your GCF? No. What is it?
-1.
I'm going to take just the negative out. 3, and it's very interesting. And not to judge. I've done this is the 4th time that we've done the same thing. Every class has said that this has a GCF of 3. 3 does not go into 16. 3 goes into 15, but not 16. Now, there's still no GCF there. Look at the remaining trinomial. We need to have a -1 in front and then 2 binomials. For the beginning, I've got a candidates of a 3x and x. This is going to be so much easier than the last one. I've got 3x and x in those first positions, and I'm going to have, oh, it's all pluses. Who can tell me what the candidates are for the second positions? What numbers am I looking at? 3x and x handle the first positions. What are the candidates that could go in those second positions? 3b. Who can tell me what the candidates that could go in these positions over here are? Seriously, no one? Oh, wait, did I put them? Oh. That's not true. All right. Who can tell me what those candidates for the last value are going to be? How do we multiply to 12?
4 and 3.
We could do 4 and 3. Hands up, please. You can tell me another one besides 4 and 3. And? So now you go through, and you're lucky you can fill in a 3x and an x right away. There's going to be mixed signs because the number at the end is negative. Go through and do this out. Now we'll wait for 8 of you that can tell me what this factors down to be. If you've been paying attention, you should know that there's not 6 candidates. Look, you are boxed out. Some of those you can't use because it creates a GCF. We've got one person so far. This one. Two. Still stuck at 2. 3, thank you. 4, 5. We're getting there. What do you want to say? All right, let's track and see if this works. I got 3x squared. The outside gives me negative 18, and the inside gives me positive 2. That forms the negative 16 I was looking to have. Questions on that? Let's bounce down, please, to the next one. Yeah. What would we do to start off? What would we do to start off example 9? Hands up, please, if you can tell me what we would do to start off example 9. 3 of us? 4? 5? What is your GCF?
8-1.
Perfect. Don't forget, be on the lookout for a common variable. I take out an 8y, and now that trinomial is what remains. Go through right now, please, and finish the factorization of this. That remaining trinomial does factor down. We got one person who can tell me. We'll wait for 7 still. We only got 1. I need somebody to wait. 2. 3. 3. 4. 5. What do you want to say? Yeah. Do you know what this is going to be?
2y plus 2.
I'm going to stop right now. I wouldn't take that as a guess. You know why? See that guy there? There's a GCF there. So I'm going to 86 that. Now I know, by the way, this is going to have to be a 2y and a y to start. Who can tell me another guess that we want to go through and take? Yeah.
Minus, or the 2y minus 8 in the next
2y minus what? What goes here? Let's FOIL this now and see if it works. First terms are going to give me 2y squared. The outside gives me a positive 4. The inside gives me a negative 1. 4 minus 1 gives you the 3 that you're looking for. And the end values multiply to negative 2. Questions on that? Don't forget the 8y that's out in front. Questions on this one? We're going to try one more, and maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. This, again, is an extension question. In all honesty, you all know at this level should be able to do this. Here's 6y squared. You've got a trinomial. That's what we're working with. It's very, very similar to the ones that you've done before. The only thing that's different is what the exponents are. But by the way, the ratio of the exponents is still the same. Normally, it goes squared, linear, or 2, 1 constant. Now it's going 4 squared constant. Let's look at what we're going to call a related equation. And during the year, instead of you'll have a lot of people that constantly try to show you gimmicks. We're not going to show you a gimmick. We're going to show you a way to approach an unfamiliar question, or a question that's not exactly what you've done before but looks familiar. We don't know how to factor this. There's no GCF. You might be looking at it as though you're stuck. You can factor this. That will factor down. So instead, this is what we're going to call in red is our related equation. We need to find values that go in the first spots here and here. We also need to find what goes here and here. Candidates for the yellow are going to multiply to give me 6y squared. Candidates for the green are going to multiply to give me a 20. So looking at what's there, we could have a 3y and a 2y, or a 6y and a 1y. You could have a 6y and a y, you could have a 3y and a 2y. Over here, you've got numbers that multiply to 20, so they're 1 and 20. You could have 2 and 10. You could go through and have 4 and 5. Okay, correct. And you're going to have mixed signs. Go through right now, please. Figure out the one that it's going to be. We'll wait for 5 of us. Again, the only way you get better at it is pencil to paper. You've got to do it, and the ugly truth is you actually have to fail at it in order to get good at it. We've got 3 of you. Keep in mind, there's some that you can eliminate. Use 3 and 2. Remember, it can't be divisible. You can't be able to take a GCF out of the answer. Got 4 of us? What do you want to say? Let's see if that works. 3y minus 4, you said. What was the other one then? All right, let's check and see if that works. By the way, is there a GCF in either of these factors? No. Could I have started with a 4 here? Would I have started with a 4 there? Why? GCF. And if I, by the way, put the 2 here, I can't put a 4 there, I can't put a 2 there, a 10 there, or a 20. So all of a sudden you go from all of this down to like 6 candidates. So looking at what we've got, first terms multiplied together are going to give me 6y squared. The outside terms give me 15y. The inside terms give me negative 8y. 15 minus 8 gives you the positive 7. The last values are the negative 20 that we're looking to have. Now, you went through and factored a related equation. Looking at what's there, we're going to ask you now... knowing that this factors to this, you can make a guess as to what they think this would factor down to be. Got 2 people. Follow the pattern. See what's there and say, well, if this were to break down, what would I try? And you don't have to know it. You have to be able to give it a try. What could that factor down to be? Remember, we need values in the beginning now that multiply to 6y to the 4th. And then those values towards the end are going to have to give me a 7y squared. What do you say?
3y squared minus 4 and then 2y squared plus 5.
There you go. What we did in the red is called a related equation. So you should be able to make those connections. Now, what you're going to do for the rest of the period is this. We're going to divide you into, we'll call it like your local 4s. It's going to be 4 people close to you. You're going to turn your desks to all face each other and away from the others. We don't want some like giant Pangea group. And what you go through and do is, you're going to send one delegate over to the side. They're going to pick up classwork 3B, which is this one here. I think there's 6 or 7 questions on it. You have until the end of the period. You are to use each other. You can go through and use your notes. I don't care. The one thing that you have to do, number 1, make sure everyone's full name is on the paper because I don't know you well enough yet. Like somebody wrote, I think in the first class, there's like 6 Dans. Somehow there's like every Dan and traders in the first class. And then the one group, the kid just wrote Dan. And then there's another group where there's a different Dan. I don't know, no offense, I don't know all of these Dans. I don't know why they bundle them all together. But in any case, what we need you to go through and do, make sure your names are, and the way group work here works is to make sure that you're all on the same page. Everyone in the group gets the same grade. So make sure everybody's name is at the top of every paper. By the way, you learn people's names. I walk when you get in your group and say, well, hello, my name is Dan. And then the other kid go, well, hi, my name is Dan also. I go, oh, I'm Dan 3. Okay?
I'm Dan 4.
Yeah, and then maybe some groups have 5, so maybe next time we'll just do a group full of Dans. But what you have to do, get everyone's name down, and what the grade that you get is the lowest grade out of the 4 papers. I don't want you to go through and say, you do question 1, you do 2, you do 3, and so on. If I wanted you to do 3 questions, I would just have to do 3 questions. So make sure everybody's on the same page. You have until the end of the period. Now, the other thing is, some of you, we have to make sure that our desks, like group 1, you need to move up a little bit to allow the spacing in the back. So we'll have you 3, let's have you 3 here work together, you 4 here, and let's please have you 4 here. You last 4 form a group right in the center here. So there's going to be 4 of you in the center. You 3 over here form a group. Actually, let's do this. Why don't you slide up to that seat, and then you 3 can make a group here. So that's 4. You 4 over there are going to be a group, and you 4 over there. So get with each other. Say, hello, my name is. Send a delegate over. It's due by the end of, you all hand them in together. Say hello, my name is. guys, turn your desks, face each other. Oh, all right.
The only thing I missed out was the middle part and the second part. Like, I got, like the third one, I got G squared times 2. Yes.
I got nominated apparently by the seniors last year. I don't know how many votes I'm going to get. I'm not voting for myself. I don't think I'd be good.
Make Slater great again.
Sure,
I play camp.
sure. I'll pick whatever works.